And good evening, this is Gabriel Porras with SCW News in Stockton. I want to bring you the latest information regarding the coronavirus COVID-19. As of course many of you know, California Governor Gavin Newsom just hours ago made a statewide mandate that all people must shelter at home. We'll have more on that in just a moment. I also want to mention I'll be checking the comments on this video, especially for you viewers on Facebook, to see if I can answer some of your questions. I have limited information based on the statements and press releases that I have, although hopefully I'll be able to answer some of your questions. I want to start though with starting off with a sound from the California Governor Gavin Newsom describing what exactly is going to be implemented here in California.
A state as large as ours, a nation state, is many parts, but at the end of the day, we're one body. There's a mutuality and there's a recognition of our interdependence that requires of this moment that we direct a statewide order for people to stay at home. That directive goes into force and effect this evening, and we are confident that the people of the state of California will abide by it. Again, we're going to keep the grocery stores open. We're going to make sure that you're getting critical medical supplies. You can still take your kids outside practicing common sense and social distancing. You can still walk your dog. You can still pick up that food at one of our distribution centers, at a restaurant, at a drive-through. All of those things we will still be able to do.
And again, that was California Governor Gavin Newsom just hours ago telling people in the state of California to shelter at home. Now, again, if you have any questions, please feel free to write those in the comments here. I'll be checking Facebook especially, although I'll also be toggling between Twitter and YouTube where we are live streaming this as well. Although again, California Governor Gavin Newsom announcing that there's going to be a shelter at home order statewide, a mandate. Now, he also mentioned in there that people are still going to be allowed to go out for essential items. Those essential items can include, as you heard him talk about, going to grocery stores, going to get food as well, going to banks and to get pharmacy, medicine people need. So, of course, still a lot of loopholes in order to be able to get your essential needs if you are, but mainly the governor just encouraging people to stay out of the public because that's the easiest way for this virus to, of course, not spread, is to avoid interactions with the public. And I want to show you a video that we shot earlier. This was at St. Joseph's Hospital earlier this week where they have a triage set up, as you can see. I'm seeing someone ask about rent in Stockton. The city council actually voted earlier this week to put a limit at this point on evictions due to coronavirus-related income. So if your income was impacted by coronavirus and you were not able to, and if you're not able to pay your rent, the city of Stockton has ordered that those homeowners won't be able to evict you because of that. And again, I'm still reading these questions right now that you guys are asking. Yeah, so about rent there, you're not going to be evicted if your income was impacted by coronavirus in the city of Stockton. Also, during that meeting earlier this week in the city of Stockton, they also announced that they will be allowing restaurants to stay open, only allowing takeout and drive-through and delivery. That was announced earlier this week. Of course, now the California governor saying essentially that you can only do that if you need to get food. And I want to, again, I'm reading these questions right now as they're coming in here. Some questions about rent. And the video that you're seeing too is from St. Joseph's earlier this week where they had a triage set up for people, of course, being treated for coronavirus. Right now there are 17 confirmed cases of the coronavirus, COVID-19 in San Joaquin County. Public health officials have not said exactly where those positive tests came from, although they have said that there were 2 deaths. One of those was from community spread. The other one was from a traveler who visited the state, who was visiting out of state, I should say, and came back to San Joaquin County and tested positive and, of course, died after that. Both of them had pre-existing medical conditions and were elderly as well. I also want to point out some information we're getting from the Stockton Police Department. They have specified some more information about this mandate from the California governor that he made moments ago, of course, saying that to shelter in place. They say this goes into effect tonight, Thursday, March 19th, and essential services will remain open. This is from the Stockton Police Department, emphasizing that gas stations, pharmacies, grocery stores, farmers markets, food banks, convenience stores, takeout and delivery restaurants, banks, laundromat, laundry services, and essential state and local government functions will all remain open. Things that are closed will include dine-in restaurants, bars and nightclubs, entertainment venues, gyms and fitness studios, public events and gatherings, and convention centers. So not too much of a significant change for the city of Stockton. Of course, we had been dealing with this for a while after the city council on Tuesday voted to close down gyms and entertainment centers. So essentially no big difference for the city of Stockton, only because we've been practicing much of these already closures previously, although now, of course, being a state mandate to shelter at home only for those essential needs. For those of you just now joining us, again, we are updating you on the latest information regarding the coronavirus COVID-19 here in California and its impact in San Joaquin County. California Governor Gavin Newsom, of course, announcing recently that he has now mandated a shelter at home order for California residents. And I want to encourage you as well to put in your comments here, your questions that you may have, and I'll try to answer those based on the information that we have so far. I know a lot of people have asked about rent. Well, for the city of Stockton, renters are, or I should say homeowners, will not be able to evict their renters if they weren't able to pay their rents for that month as a result of lost income from the coronavirus. And that's in effect for 2 months based on the city council and what they're saying at this point. I'm looking down here to get some information and get some of the questions answered and see what you guys are asking about. I know a lot of questions are also concerning schools. A lot of schools have made their different schools available for free pickup for breakfast and lunch. And as well, if you have a student at Stockton Unified School and a Stockton Unified School District, if you have questions for the Stockton Unified School District, they will be having a telephone town hall meeting. That's with Superintendent John Dacey. That will be happening on Monday, March 23rd at 5:30 p.m., where you can ask the school district directly about what questions you'll have. I'm hearing questions about trash pickup. Trash pickup will be still going on. Post offices, I will have to check on that right now, although I don't have the answer for that right now. Let me show you guys again some of this video that we shot earlier. This is at St. Joseph's from earlier this week, where they had a triage set up. As to get some information here. And again, if you have questions on the school district level, you'll want to also contact your school districts. As I mentioned, Stockton Unified hosting a teleconference town hall meeting. I'm pulling up the statement from the U.S. Postal Service right now regarding the coronavirus for that person who's asking about USPS during this time. The Postal Service saying they have so far only experienced minor operational impacts in the U.S. as a result of the COVID-19 epidemic, and they continue to have a temporary suspension of the guarantee on primary mail express, obviously for China and Hong Kong. So no major announcements from the post office so far about any interruptions with the mail, although unless you're sending a package or a letter, of course, to China or Hong Kong in that area, where they're saying that there will be some delays on that. I'm looking through your comments right now. Just lost it here. Yeah, feel free to ask, as I mentioned, more questions here. Let me see. I answered that one. Okay. I want to also play for you, for those of you who may not have been with us earlier when I played this. This is exactly what California Governor Gavin Newsom said about this shelter place earlier this evening when he spoke on social media and across broadcast platforms earlier. I want to play that sound for you now.
A state as large as ours, a nation state, is many parts, but at the end of the day, we're one body. There's a mutuality and there's a recognition of our interdependence that requires of this moment that we direct a statewide order for people to stay at home. That directive goes into force and effect this evening, and we are confident that the people of the state of California will abide by it. Again, we're going to keep the grocery stores open. We're going to make sure that you're getting critical medical supplies. You can still take your kids outside practicing common sense and social distancing. You can still walk your dog. You can still pick up that food at one of our distribution centers, at a restaurant, at a drive-through. All of those things we will still be able to do.
And as you heard, that was California Governor Gavin Newsom speaking earlier today. That was around 6:50 this evening. That's when he actually announced his plan for a statewide mandate of shelter at home, and that mandate is now going into effect this evening. As you heard him say, though, there was still You can still go to grocery stores to get your essential needs. You can still go to pharmacies. Banks will be open. A number of different public agencies will be open. I also want to point you out to the Stockton Police Department, who put on social media moments ago just a list of some of the essential services that you'll still be able to access. And those include, as I have mentioned before, gas stations, pharmacies, grocery stores, farmers markets, food banks, convenience stores, takeout and delivery restaurants, and banks, as well as laundromat and laundry services. The law enforcement offices will also remain open. The only things that really will be closed will be dine-in restaurants, bars and nightclubs, entertainment venues, gyms and fitness studios, public events and gatherings, and convention centers. And those had already been previously closed in the city of Stockton as a result of the coronavirus during a council meeting that happened earlier this week. And we have more on that on my SCW News Digest from a few days ago on the same page as well. And a lot of you who may be wondering about schools as well, you'll have to check in with your individual districts to see their plans on that. However, right now, Stockton Unified is still planning on returning on the 6th of April. And that goes for Lodi Unified as well. Lincoln Unified not planning to return until the 13th of April. Of course, California Governor Gavin Newsom days ago made an announcement that he does not believe that many schools will open until the fall of next year. Although these local school districts are still planning on opening on those dates, April 6th and April 13th, and will assess the situation as it goes. And I have mentioned that a lot of these school districts are also offering pickups for free lunches and free breakfast. For Lodi Unified, that is throughout this entire week, Monday through Friday, they will have children must be present in order to receive their meals. That is at a number of their different school facilities. You'll want to visit their page for more on that. Stockton Unified doing the same thing. They actually have a map on their page as well that shows all of the different breakfast and lunch pickup sites. That'll be available Monday through Friday between 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. for Stockton Unified. Lincoln Unified also taking a similar approach. They are also offering their free breakfast and free lunch to students 18 years and younger, I should say, at their school sites in Stockton. And I'm going to look through some of your questions right now. Yeah, so rent, as I have mentioned earlier, the city of Stockton has already put regulations on that. They're going to homeowners in the city of Stockton, and this applies for the city, of course, will not be able to evict their residents or their renters if those renters suffer losses from their income due to coronavirus, and that's in effect for 2 more months. And about Stockton being on lockdown, the state has just announced that the entire state will be on shelter in place. As far as a lockdown, that's a different term, although essentially the California Governor Gavin Newsom just announced hours ago that the state will be on a shelter at home order. So meaning you can only go outside for essential services. Those essential services are pretty wide. It can include going to the grocery store to get supplies, going to get food from drive-thrus or takeout places, and that's across all of California, so everyone's being impacted by that. And I'm getting more information for you all right now, answering your questions as well. And as I mentioned, for those of you joining me on Twitter and YouTube, I'm mainly reading the questions here that are coming in on Facebook, although I am trying to toggle between the different apps as well right now as we speak. And again, the main news this evening, California Governor Gavin Newsom announcing that he has now mandated that everyone must shelter at home and only, of course, go out for essential services. And those essential services are somewhat subjective. However, as I have mentioned, there's a pretty big gray area there, and they include a lot of activities, including going out to get groceries. Of course, 40 million residents in the state of California, and a lot of these people were already impacted by shelter-in-place orders. For example, 6 counties in the San Francisco Bay Area earlier this week announced a similar shelter at home, I should say, order for their residents, as well as the city of Berkeley, Sacramento County, and El Dorado County also followed in the footstep by ordering a shelter in place for their residents. This is now just statewide, impacting 40 million residents in the state of California. And California Governor Gavin Newsom also wrote to President Donald Trump earlier day as well, asking for a U.S. Navy hospital ship to be docked in Los Angeles to help treat potentially more patients. He expects 56% of the California population to get to to contract the coronavirus if proper steps are not taken. That is according to him in a previous statement. And Other things that he has done as well. He says that the state has taken over a 357-bed hospital in the Bay Area they are also planning to announce another purchase of another similar-sized hospital in Southern California as well to help out with these patients that he is expecting to come in for coronavirus. But again, the governor and the authorities are hoping that by ordering this mandate tonight for people to shelter at home, that they will heed that warning and that they will shelter at home and only go out for essential services. And as I mentioned, law enforcement agencies not going to be impacted by this. They're still going to be in operation. Governor Gavin Newsom announcing that stores will still be open, pharmacies, banks. So a lot of places that are already open are still going to be open. You can also go to restaurants for delivery and for takeout, although of course no sitting down and eating at a restaurant, which is something that the city already did. The city of Stockton already announced earlier this week. And we will have continuing coverage for you here on SCW News regarding the coronavirus on my SCW News Digest tomorrow as well, where hopefully we'll get some more information on exactly everything that the governor said. This is still, of course, a developing story with the governor having announced this now mandate to shelter at home for all California residents just hours ago. So we'll, of course, keep you posted here on social media with the latest information on this. For now, thank you for watching. I'm Gabriel Porras in Stockton, and we'll have more here later.